bite some jerky and collect your gear.
Good morning, Internet. Today, we're going to take a look at an old school game called Gun. And I've mentioned before that Gun is one of my favorite games of all time. Over the course of its life, it was released on the PC, the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation Portable, and the Gamecube. And I have it, and have completed it on all those systems, and I'd gladly go back and do it again. But what is it about this game that keeps me coming back? So why you so good? I scream at the game. Well, let's take a few minutes and jump into the game. Let's see what it's all about and take a quick look at what happened to the sequel. Now, Gun was released on November 17th, 2005. It takes place in kind of a stereotypical Wild West set right in Montana and kind of around Montana. You play as Colton White on a mission to get revenge for your father's murder. The game plays out as a third-person GTA clone, but just instead of cars, you're riding horses. The gameplay is mission-based, just like GTA, and has a wealth of side missions for you to take on in order to gain new equipment or upgrade your existing gear. Also, every time you complete a mission, your core stats typically go up a little bit. So, doing side missions is not just a great way to earn money to upgrade your stuff, but every time you beat one, you kind of upgrade your character a little bit instantly as well. Now, one of the highlights of the game is the voice work. The game stars Thomas Jane, Chris Christopherson, Ron Perlman, and Kath Soucie. Just to name a few. Gun won awards and lots of praise from critics due to his voice work, and rightly so. The dialogue is delivered perfectly, and it really keeps you invested into the story. I remember back before it was released reading a gaming magazine that had a whole spread on Gun, and it devoted 2 pages just to the voice actors. Gun is a true open-world game, and its landscape is fairly vast for a game of its time. It's a bit empty, which I suppose is to be expected for a game set in the West, but it seems to tick all the right boxes anyway. You have Dodge City, you have Empire City as the 2 only major towns in the game on either side of the map. Connecting them is a huge landscape made up of the Badlands, caverns, a river, a large farm, prairies, and roads that twist and turn through the mountains that have a couple shacks and such kind of spread throughout. Adding to the theme is a locomotive that's constantly running around the map as well. While traversing the land, you can encounter random battles and bandits that you can either run from or stand and fight. It's a small touch, but does add something to the experience. As you progress through the game, you start to not only uncover what led to your father's demise, but also your family's history, which answers a lot of questions that Colton has after his father drops a bombshell on him right before he bites it. Your adventure lets you meet all sorts of characters and Western stereotypes that add a bit of charm and humor to the story. I still enjoy every single scene that Soapy is in. So the game is a GTA clone, but it still does things very right. The story progression, the presentation, and the gameplay are all very, very solid. It's not a Rockstar game, but for the time it still had the look and feel of the big budget title that it was. I mentioned it a lot about games I enjoy, but you can tell a lot of love went into this game. I've probably played through Gun more times than any other game in my collection, and I'll probably start it up again sometime soon as well. My first experience with the game was on the PlayStation 2, but every version of the game is good. The PC and the Xbox 360 versions obviously are going to look the best, and have more people with more varied character models on screen. But any version is worth playing. Even the PSP version is great. The controls on the PSP are a little bit tricky to get used to, however, once you get it, it's fine. If you have a Vita, you can map the face buttons which control the camera to the second analog stick and play it as it was meant to be played with dual sticks. It works quite well. I remember back when Red Dead Redemption was released being very disappointed in it. It reminded me a lot of Gun, as there are many similarities, but since I really wanted a Gun too, I was not initially happy with Redemption, but I soon got over that. It was my own inner thing that I needed to get over, and I enjoyed that game. But what about Gun 2? For a game that sold over 1 million copies and won a lot of awards, you would expect a sequel to be in the works, especially considering how Activision likes to keep pumping out games. Well, in February 2006, Activision teased a potential sequel to the game. The game Tony Hawk's Proving Ground even featured a poster for Gun Magruder's Revenge, which only furthered the rumors. Activision even posted job openings for its Neversoft studio that also hinted at a possible sequel. Call of Duty Ghosts also featured a poster for Gun 2. In August 2014, it came out that at some point years ago, Activision decided to greenlight the sequel for the game, but Neversoft actually decided to cancel it in favor of making more Tony Hawk games. Joel Jewitt of Neversoft said, We just didn't have the manpower to make Gun 2, and another skateboarding game. We had to take our engine to the next level because we were moving to the Xbox 360. We had to put everybody back on the Tony Hawk franchises. Well, after Red Dead Redemption was released many years later, he had this to say. We thought there was going to be this big demand out there for a Wild West game. Quite frankly, I think we were right, and I thank the guys at Rockstar for, in my opinion, proving us right. Well, that's all well and good that he was proved right, but that still doesn't put Gun 2 in my Xbox or PlayStation, now does it? But even if it never comes out, we can still enjoy the original for how great it is. If you've yet to play the game, you need to. It's cheap and very easy to find. Even Steam has it. It's currently listed for $19.99 on Steam, which is a bit expensive for a decade-old game, but that's classic Activision for you. However, even at $20, it's still worth it today, even if you can't find it cheaper on the wealth of systems that it's available for. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And please like or subscribe or dislike it. If you disliked it, tell me what I did wrong. Your feedback helps me improve. And have a great day.